From LALATE News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings LALATE.
It's a big morning of Morning LA with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus update of 2021. Wow, it is great news as that incredible recon gets passed this week in the House of Representatives. The deal is done and we will have a passed recon by members of the House of Representatives of the U.S. Congress by the end of this week. This is a result of a voting deal that is set, and that is despite whether the Congressional Budget Office report is going to be done. Those programs will pay you a fortune, about $15,000 of checks across all these incredible clusters of check across those programs. I'm going to explain to you how to get these $15,000 across these programs, and I'm going to show you how to get on average about $45,000 this week from third stimulus. Get your pen and paper ready. Then we're going to turn to more student loan debt forgiveness and then fifth stimulus. Definitely need fifth stimulus because of the CPI released last week shows inflation's going up. And those details and more are going to be covered in this recording. We got a big, bold, beautiful morning's broadcast. I'm excited to hear because the toast is toasting, the butter is buttering, and the House will be passing your wonderful recon this week, giving you nearly $15,000 across all these incredible clusters, but you're not going to wait for that because you're going to get upwards of $45,000 on average on the third stimulus this week. It starts right now. Hey, good afternoon. Actually, good morning. How are you doing? It's a big, bold, beautiful morning. And here we go. Our House deal is done. Whoa, I am so excited as we're going to have our recon passed by the House of Representatives. And that vote is going to be by the end of the week, could be potentially today. That's without the Congressional Budget Office report being finalized. I'll explain what's going on. And these are big checks. The biggest payout you've seen in this history is channel $15,000 on average across all these clusters. Wow. And then we're going to go to student loan debt forgiveness. More debt could be forgiven across the board. I have the latest details of that in this recording. Then fifth stimulus coming up in January. It's huge. It's great. Then we're going to go over how to get the big sums of money under third stimulus this week. You need money. You need cash. You want cash this week. How about $45,000? Sound good? Many viewers getting over $100,000. We're going to have that as well. It's all starting right here. And this, my friends, is LALATE, America's only 24-hour day, 7 days a week financial news channel in America, live in the morning, taped in the afternoons. Coming up next is Mornings Crypto, live on air at 10 a.m. Then we go into noontime, totally brand new, with breaking news at 11 a.m. We got a massive slate of programming, a major breaking news today, so stay with me throughout the day and subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record, and 140 million viewers. In 140 million views. Like this video and consider becoming a member. We got a lot going on in this video, so let me explain to you what we're going to cover. First, we're going to broadly cover this incredible recon, the fourth stimulus recon that's going to pay you so much money. Each of these clusters one at a time. Then we're going to come back and go over each of these checks one at a time and the eligibility. You want to know how to get this sums of money. We're going to cover the vote this week. We're going to cover then third stimulus, which is paying fortunes. You want money? You want tens of thousands of dollars this week? I know you do. So get that pen and paper ready. It's coming up later in this video. And then we turn to student loan debt forgiveness and fifth stimulus. Wow, what an incredible broadcast. Let's start right now. The House of Representatives this week will be passing a wonderful fourth stimulus recon that pays you on average about $15,000 across all these three clusters of checks. It's huge. It's wonderful. And it is big and bold. I'm going to show you how to get these checks. As you know, this channel is all about information. When third stimulus became law, I said I can get you $15,000. The average viewer got $45,000. That's coming up in just a second. But let's look at what pays you $15,000. It's you. It's eligibility. It's you. And you found the great channel that's going to give you the information. We'll start with the first cluster. Here we go. Hazard pay, back-end check, $4,000 of elder care, front-end check, $4,000 of care for young children, front-end check. Then they got the home repairs. Wow, that is wonderful. Very exciting for so many viewers. Home repairs, front end check if you live in a low-income community, totally free. They got the CTC, the child tax credit, one more year about that, $3,600. College students, the Pell Grant, $550 checks, front end. And then they got the money to purchase of a new electric vehicle, U.S. made, $12,500, back end. That is the first clusters of checks. You see those? See how great they are? That's about $5,000 just there. Stay with me. I'm going to explain to you how to get those clusters of checks later in this video. Let's go to the first add-on. And the first add-on is money to buy your first home. What? Yes, free money to buy your first home. It sounds too good to be true, but it is that good. It comes from Maxine Waters. She wanted $25,000 of it. It's going to be a little bit less. It is free money to purchase your first home. You want to know that, how to get it? It's coming up later in this video. Stay with me. Let's go to the second add-on, a second clusters of checks, and it is just deliciousness. Here we go. We got home repairs, more about those, more home repairs. This is weatherize your home. That is front end checks. They got paid leave, family leave, front end, universal pre-kindergarten, 1 year, front end. And then they got those household tax credits, back end. You need to get that weatherize your home. It is not just for low-income families. It's for all families. Weatherize your home so that the home looks all sort of white and frothy. No, that is... That is flocking your home. We're not doing flocking your home. We're doing weatherizing your home. Yeah, so that every time that the lobsters come gnawing at the gate, you know, oh, it's Mitch. Lock it quickly. There we go. Let's go to the second add-on. It comes from Bob Casey. It is huge. It's not a check, but it's a benefit, and it is $250 billion. He proposed, it got a little bit less, for free home health care for my seniors and people on disabilities. Wow, this is incredible. Again, this is free home health care for my seniors and people on disabilities. Let's go to the third clusters of checks. It is huge. I'm just so excited for all these incredible checks for you. So it looks like we're already at 10,000. Let's go to the third cluster starting right now. Free school meals for all checks. Then we got cheaper prescription medication. We got immigration reform, farmers. Then we have free internet. We have the the independent contractors, and then we have the Medicare expansion, which has several parts to it. First, we have the House bill. The House bill will have in there the Medicaid gap states. Stay with me if you want that cheaper medication, cheaper prescriptions, cheaper insurance, coming up later in this video. And they got in there the hearing. Bernie on the Senate side is going to add the dental, and they're going to add the vision and drop the eligibility age of Medicare, so Bernie says. And there you go, which brings us to our third add-on, and that third add-on is MSC, which stands for monthly or multiple IRS stimulus check. The senators say send that bill over to us ASAP, House, because we got a lot to add in there. Two places they add in potentially MSC's subcommittee of the Senate, or the Senate Vote-A-Rama. Senate subcommittee. That's very helpful to you. Why? Because they have a lot of stuff to add, so you wanted to go to Senate subcommittee. Vote-A-Rama. That Vote-A-Rama is a 2-day event at the very end that the senators add stuff in there that was never taken care of by the House members. It's huge, and that is those two opportunities. The last time we heard them talk about the calculations, they said $2,000 the first month, $1,000 thereafter for upwards of 6 months total. Everyone across the board, including people on SSI and SSDI, would get the same payment. Single individuals, $75,000 or less. Married couples, $150,000 or less. Household of 4. And people on disabilities, adult dependents would all qualify across the board. Now, what's important to understand is not in the House bill. It's a push to put it into the Senate bill, and you need to advocate. We have those 6 senators who are leading the march: Casey, Coons, Sanders, Schumer, Warren, Wyden. The 2 C's, the 2 S's, and the 2 W's. You need to advocate across the board. But here is the focal point. You need to split your week by one day calling the 2 C's, one day calling the 2 S's, one day calling the 2 W's, and then giving yourself 2 days to get third stimulus. Third stimulus is still paying out. If you're do not spend one moment with those beautiful fingers you have on the keyboard saying, what date would it land in my bank account? Guess what? You're not going to do that, because in the time that you would type that on a keyboard and seen it in the comments and have it deleted by me, you should have been picking up the phone and asking for the big money under third stimulus, which is still paying viewers an average of $45,000. You want that big tens of thousands of dollars of money right this week? You can get it. Not 5 months from now, not 5 weeks from now, and not 5 months from now. not 5 days from now. It starts right today. It's coming up later in this video. I'm going to show you how you can end this week with tens of thousands of dollars in your wallet while you're still advocating for forced stimulus. And we're going to start with that in the second half of this video with that big House vote deal done. Oh my goodness, it's exciting. We're done on the House of Representatives. That vote will be called this week, and Nancy Pelosi confirms the vote will be called whether or not we have the full CBO report. And those programs in forced stimulus will pay you on average $15,000. It may likely be more than $15,000 as third stimulus is repeating its processes in forced stimulus. And third stimulus got viewers $45,000 for this channel on average. Many viewers getting over $100,000. It's going to be you, and I'll show you how to get this money later in this video. Then student loan debt forgiveness. More debt could be forgiven across the board. I have all those details and well. And then we got fifth stimulus. Very important because of the new inflation numbers. All those details and more as we go into a big, bold, beautiful morning's broadcast. I'm excited you're here, and I'll be back with you in 60 seconds. But first, here's a little bit about the community page on this channel. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now. The big, bold, beautiful morning's broadcast continues. The House deal is done, and we're going to be passing the House of Representatives reconciliation budget bill. The voting is set. With or without a complete Congressional Budget Office report. I'll tell you the latest details from Nancy Pelosi. Programs will pay you about $15,000. The incredible programs you need to learn and digest. Get that pen and paper ready for the second half of this video. Student loan debt forgiveness. More debt could be forgiven across the board. And then we turn to the exciting details of fifth stimulus. Fifth stimulus heating up next year. You need it because of that COLA benefits is 5.9%. It's a starting point, but not a finishing point. Those details and more, I'm direct and live with you right now on air from Santa Monica, California. Hope the weather is good where you are. Jump in the live chat and tell me where you're tuning in from and how the weather is, and subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. There is no place on the planet that has the comprehensive coverage of the big money on this program of fourth stimulus or third stimulus like this channel. So you want to subscribe, like this video, and consider becoming a member to get that incredible newsletter that features all the big sums of money. And let's go right into all the dramatics of it and all the big moolah starting right now. This week, Nancy Pelosi confirms that she will be calling the vote on the incredible fourth stimulus recon, aka spending bill, in the House of Representatives. It will pass. The recon agreement reached by the Democrats over a week ago said that they would call the vote no later than the week of November 15th. That was the end of the sentence. The earlier part of the sentence said that they need this, that they want the Congressional Budget Office report, but Nancy Pelosi confirms she's not holding up the vote for that Congressional Budget Office report. It will not be finished this week in totality, even though 3 more provisions of it are being released today. The vote will happen this week and no later than November 15th. It could happen today. It could happen tomorrow. We will say when that vote happens. But when we're done, we are done, out of the House and finished with this incredible recon that so far on the House side pays you about $15,000 of checks. Now, if you just found this channel, If you just found this channel or you knew about this channel, you came back, haven't been here in a few weeks or a few days, here's what you need to remember, is that this channel is about getting you money. And what's huge is that I'm going to show you how to leave at the end of this video with the ability to get tens of thousands of dollars this week. This week, starting today, not just from fourth stimulus, but for third stimulus, which is actually law. So someone was in the live chat just at the commercial break, said, what about that $2,000 a month they promised? Don't spend the time typing that message because it's absolutely untrue. No one promised you $2,000. It's an effort that they try to put in there. And they have not been at that price point of $2,000 every month for many, many months. If you want $2,000, I can get you $2,000. And I can show you how to get $2,000 today in this video by the end of today. And it's starting right now. Let's go over first the fourth stimulus before we cut back to third stimulus in just a second. Fourth stimulus has a lot of programs, and you need to get that pen and paper ready because those are programs pay you a fortune. And what's important to understand is that this channel is about information. It's about showing you the information, not about tracking a check. What day is a check landing in my bank account? What date is that check landing in my bank account? Don't do that. Learn the information and get the information to get those checks starting right today. Let's start with fourth stimulus. Fourth stimulus, the very first check that's huge is in here, is paid leave. Very big for anyone who works or lives with someone who works. So let's say you're retired, but you live with your son or daughter. This is something you want to listen to because your son or daughter is going to get a fortune from this. How much is it and what is it? It is when you have to stay home from work because of a medical issue or death or birth of a child in the household. It does not have to be COVID related. So how much does it pay? $1,700 a week if you make $70,000 or more per year. $800 a week if you make $35,000 or more per year. $400 a week if you make $15,000 or more per year. How many weeks? Up to 4 weeks per year. Wow, that is a lot. That is $5,000 to $6,000 on the top end. And if you have a son or daughter that takes you to see the dentist once a month, or takes you to 2 procedures at doctors every few days, that is a big, massive check that they're going to get. So you need to watch this if you don't work, but someone in your household does, because they are eligible for the money. And the greatest part about the paid leave is that it's for everyone. All income levels and all types of workers, W-2 or 1099, whether you make $5,000 a year or you make $500,000 a year. It is wonderful. The second check they got in here is the second item they got in here, this is wonderful, is the SALT. When you go to pay your tax return on the state, you pay taxes, and let's say you paid $15,000 in taxes. When you go over the federal tax return, you cannot deduct $15,000 because of the Trump 2017 tax code, which says you cannot deduct more than $10,000. Now, the wonderful provision added by the moderate Democrats will provide you the ability to deduct on the federal tax return up to $72,500 of what you pay in state and local taxes. Wow, it's huge. They got $40 billion of free job training in this recon. So if you're a person who's retired and you're worried that you can't go back to work because you lose benefits, don't worry about that, because fifth stimulus is going to get rid of that law, allowing you to work if you wish to work, even part-time. And now you can get free job training across the board to get an incredible job. All right, I got a lot of questions that come in daily about cheaper health insurance and or free or very, very discounted health insurance. They got it done. This is called the Medicaid gap fix. If you're one of those 12 holdout Republican states where the governor is Republican and they did not want to pay for Obamacare, now the recon solves it. Recon will have a workaround plan for those 12 holdout states by offering subsidized private insurance to low-income people. All right, then that brings us to the housing assistance and our back door into third stimulus. In fourth stimulus, there is $150 billion for rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, home repairs, weatherizing your home, and purchase prices of new homes. That's $150 billion. Guess what? It repeats the programs from third stimulus that only had $47 billion in there. And under third stimulus, the average viewer of this channel got $45,000. If you never got this money before, or you got some of it before, you can get lots of it right now. And we're going to go over it starting right this very moment. Third stimulus is money today. It's not money a week from now. It's not money a month from now. If you're in the live chat and you think, or you saw someone write something and say, what day are they sending out a fourth stimulus check? Don't do that. Pick up the phone and call and get the big money from third stimulus right now. Let me give you an introduction first to third stimulus. It's for everyone. You qualify for it. You all qualify for it. You qualify for it if you're in a Republican state. You qualify for it if you're on SSI, SSDI. You qualify for it if you work, if you don't work, if you're not behind on your bills. You are behind your bills. You are retired, you're not retired. You all qualify for it. We're going to start first with the rent. And the rent is absolutely enormous. Here we go. This was the rent that the viewers got nearly 3 months ago, $20,000 to $27,000. The rent has now gone up to $40,000 that viewers are getting from this rent. Where do you get it? 6 places. You must, M-U-S-T, reach out to all 6. If one says no, you reach out to the rest of the 6. The 6 places are City Hall, City House Authority, County Hall, County House Authority, State Hall, State House Authority. And the keywords you say are rent assistance because of COVID, mortgage or utility assistance because of COVID. And there you go. You reach out to all 6. You do not reach out to one, get a no, and then stop. That's not how we do it here. You reach out to all 6. Next, if you got rent before, you can get more rent. The average view of this channel has gotten 2 to 3 rounds of rent under third stimulus. There's a $13 billion cash infusion from the Treasury to the cities and counties and states for rent. So that rent is there right now. And there's rent in absolutely every single county and state across the country. There is no place there is not. Then you want to get mortgage assistance as well, and they have that mortgage assistance money. Utilities. Here you go. Wow. These were the numbers for utilities about 2 months ago. The utilities have gone up. The viewers have now gotten 15,000, but get ready because you want to get the bigger numbers. Heating oil is going up 59.1% year to date this fall. And you want to get the big utility bills. You can get them backwards and forwards. Same with rent. You can get them backwards and forwards. Many viewers have gotten over $20,000 for utilities. Get all your utilities. Call up every utility company you got. Then you want to get money for food. You get it from Department of Agriculture, DOA. Reach out to them. Average money for food is going up 25%. SNAP is going up 25% a lifetime now. Many viewers are getting over $25,000 a year because of SNAP after watching this channel. Mark's brother-in-law is getting $25,000 over 12 months. Over the next 10 years, he's going to get $250,000 of that money from this channel. Next, you want to get combinations. So get as many of these different items as you can. And then you want to keep on going. Here's Lorraine. She got $105,000 for this channel initially. She keeps on going back and getting more money. She's at $120,000. Do you want $120,000? I think you do. Then here is Mark. He got $50,000. He's now at $100,000. Look at the combination of items he got. Here's some messages about this third stimulus. 1, you qualify for it. Number 2, you need to make lots of calls. Do not make one call and call it a day. Do not make one call, get a no, and just stop. There are 6 places you must reach out to. Also, lean on the nonprofits. Next, you must get applications on place everywhere. So don't put one application, just stop. Put applications everywhere. You can get rent from multiple sources, not just one source. You can get utilities from different sources. You can get some funded by a church and then some funded by the county. You can get it funded from different places. We had 3 viewers who started the week about 2 months ago with $0. By the middle of the week, they got 4 items paying them. And how much did they get? $45,000. 3 viewers. One of them was Johnny. He didn't stop at $40,000. What did he do? He went to the weekend, and by the weekend, he got 7 items. How much did he get? $80,000 from this channel. Not an unusual circumstance. This is third stimulus. He got $80,000. He is just like you. You know what he did? He reached out to his family members the next week, and he said, listen, I just got $80,000 from watching this kid at LA. He's the real deal. His family members said, I haven't heard about this money under third stimulus. I watch the this, I read the that, and they don't talk about it. He said, stop watching that stuff. You do not go to search engines for news. You do not go to your local news for this stuff. You do not go to your broadcast news, and you don't go to your print media. They don't cover this. You don't go to them. You watch here. And that's what he told them. They're sophisticated. smart family members. They didn't hear about, they questioned their son. And he said, listen, here it is. I got 80,000. The family members the following week got $50,000 each. Same thing with Mark. He reached out to his brother-in-law. His brother-in-law got absolute enormous sums of money. That is what you do. This is money right now. Not 5 weeks from now, not 5 months from now. I'll be covering more about this later in my commentary. But now let's go back into forced stimulus. Forced stimulus repeats all this again. So you don't want to wait till forced stimulus is law. You can get it under third stimulus now, but when forced stimulus becomes law, you'll be able to get it again. And then it also has the other items. First, the home repairs low-income community. It's likely going to be a check they just send to you. You apply for like a grant and they send you the check. I do not believe it's going to be exchanging repair estimates. Then the weatherize your home, not just low income, all type of homes. That's the typical things for hurricane and fire areas. We're going to see those details when it becomes law. And then the first time home purchases, the free money, it's first. It's a home, single family, and it's deliciousness. We do not believe that there's any income qualification. And yes, this is one of those provisions why you want to be a Purple Hawk. You want to be a member because this is where the money is in the details. And we are going to pounce and get this money before anyone else. Then we got in there $150 billion for my home health care for my seniors and people on disabilities. $550 checks for my Pell Grant recipients currently on Pell, college students, and then $12,500 for the purchase of a new electric vehicle if it made in a union shop. This is a back-end check. So that is Ford, Chrysler, GM, $12,500 of tax credits when you buy it. Now, I saw a report this morning. This shows you how much money there is for cars in these programs. That the infrastructure the president signed into law today, the separate body of law, that there's 30% off, 30% refund of a electric vehicle if it's bought by a business. Whoa. And that's not just union shops. That's also Tesla and imports. Wow, incredible. Then they got $65 per child when they're not in school for those incredible, for that incredible food. One of the best provisions of the entire recon is the cheaper prescription medication. It's huge. Instantly, after this becomes law, says the President of the United States, you would see major reductions in your medication. What's at issue? 20 years ago when Medicare rolled out, they could not negotiate the prices of prescription medication. This changes for the first time in its existence. When this becomes law, the next day, 20 prescriptions would be discounted dramatically because of fair negotiations between Big Pharma and Medicare. The 20 medications would be the biggest and most expensive, like cancer, arthritis, and also diabetes. For example, insulin doses will go from $900 to $35. This is Medicare Part D and Medicare Part B. This is for my seniors. It would start with 20 medications right off the board and then grow to 30 of them in about 4 or 5 years. The inflation rate would be tied to it per year, so the insurance companies so that Big Pharma could not raise it more than the price of inflation per year. And there's a penalty provision in there if they do. That caused lots of praises across the board, but also one of the questions is whether that penalty provision can stand muster with the Senate parliamentarian. This week, potentially, we could hear the results for the Senate parliamentarian who's looking at the recon. She is a government official. She's not a party person. And she looks at whether provisions can withstand Senate rules. She's going to look at the penalty provision of that inflation in the prescription medication. Pat Toomey believes it does not belong in there. She's also going to look at the immigration reform. I think it's going to come out because she previously said immigration reform cannot go by recon. And then finally, she's going to look at paid leave, which is a battleground as well. GOP leaders have vowed to put everything they think qualifies for parliamentarian review under that wonderful review. Now, what's big is that when you look at this recon, when you look at this incredible recon, we say $15,000 across all these clusters of checks. But you and I know it may be much more than that. Why? The House bill is a starting point, number one. Number two, it repeats all the programs with third stimulus paid viewers on average $45,000. Many viewers gain over $100,000. So $15,000 is very, very low end on estimates. And it's before the senators get the bill potentially by the end of the week. And that's where the senators start adding things in there. Those senators say we're adding in big things because there's Major gaps, says Bernie Sanders. Best bill since the 60s, but major gaps. We're adding in lots of provisions like dental and also vision. Ron Wyden says, you know what? It's not done until the Senate acts. And when asked if the recon's done, he says, "Oh no, there's a significant amount to still add to it." We have Chuck, we have Coons, and we have Murphy all saying, "Get ready for the senators to add provisions into the recon." All right, so you get ready with a pen and paper. I got some more checks in this incredible recon starting right now. Universal pre-kindergarten, front end check. Child care, back end check. Child tax credit, front end, $3,600 or $3,000 for 1 year. Earned income tax credit for my essential worker, back end check. Then the home health care, covered benefit or a check. But Medicare hearing aid, which is likely a check or a covered benefit, just a benefit, is included as well. We already covered the housing items, also the $550 Pell Grant for the college student and the $65 per month. So which provisions would be added by the senators? Well, in addition to their push to add potentially a MSC, there is also Bernie's provisions that he wants to add, which are dropping Medicare, eligibility age, dental, and vision. He says we're the richest country in the globe and we need to have these provisions. Let's look at them. Dropping the eligibility age, it's currently 65. Bernie wants it at 55. Bob Casey, who already got that other provision in there, wants it at 60. Dental vision, likely checks. Why? Because they last were in there as checks. The dental was last in the recon as an $850 check to you if you're on Medicare or senior. It got out. It got removed. Bernie wants more. He wants 10 years of full benefits. Then he would default to 3 years of full benefits. $850, you need to have more because that doesn't cover lots of procedures. Then the vision, easy. Eye exam and a pair of frames per year. That's what Bernie wants, which has caused, if you've not seen it, the illustrious, wonderfully entertaining Frame Wars in the live chat of this channel. Oh boy, the Frame Wars have been really just an enjoyable part of the live chat, where one person jumped in the live chat, said, "My daughter bought me $450 frames, and Medicare should pay for $450 frames." No, Medicare does not shop at the Champs-Elysees in Paris, France. They are not buying you $450 frames or a $60,000 Birkin bag. They're just not doing that. Now, God bless your wonderful daughter who pays $450 for frames. But that's just a little bit too much. They're also not sending you... there's a difference. Medicare does not shop at Fendi. Does not shop at Gucci. And this is not the house of Gucci, though sometimes it looks like it is. So a frame and a pair of glasses, and I appreciate a frame and a prescription. So I appreciate the illustrious $450 frame woman in the live chat. I really appreciate, and I appreciate all the battleground over people who said, "My optometrist charges $700 for an eye exam." Yeah. That's why you go to another optometrist. So there we go. They got the CTC in there. I show the CTC as $60,000 or less annual income for the household. I show the housing a little bit more. I showed 175. I show the in-home healthcare, $200 billion, which is more across the board. I got more details about that with my commentary coming up in a second. But let's take a detour for just a second. Student loan debt forgiveness. How about $10,000? Democrats should take it. The president has offered $10,000 to go by executive order. Student loan debt forgiveness. Democrats should take it. He's not moved, and he's not going to do the $50,000. He has not done it in a year and a half. So they should take it. Doesn't close the door to ask for more later. He forgave student loan debts for people who became disabled, individuals who went to work in the nonprofit sector for 10 years or in the public sector. Fifth stimulus is so important. It really is. Why? Have you gotten the letter? Your benefits are going up 5.9% next year. Everyone's benefits. Now, that's because of COLA. But get ready, because fifth stimulus was right behind it. Because COLA doesn't really work. What's wrong? COLA's been around for many, many years, and your benefits have been tied to COLA. And because of it, your benefits did not increase when things cost more before the pandemic, during the pandemic, and now after the pandemic. And COLA's always behind. So what are they going to do in a fifth stimulus? They're first going to bring you up to the present, get you contemporary with contemporary prices. That's the first raise up. Then they're going to apply a new benchmark in December of 2022. It's inflation. And every year thereafter, you'll be tied to inflation. So every year, if inflation's 2%, you're going to go up more every year. Remember, once you go up, You never go down. So you're going to go up 3 times in 1 year if fish stimulus becomes a law. They're going to remove the asset cap, remove the income cap, and remove the marriage penalty. Finally, if you haven't become a member, why haven't you become a member? The link is under the video. Become a Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP today and get that big newsletter that goes out daily, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, via me to you via the YouTube alert system or the LALATE alert system, which is also in the links to the description of this video, and it's free. It's important to get the big money under third stimulus. It's money not 5 weeks from now, not 5 months from now, not 5 days from now. It's right now. You have bills to pay. Get that newsletter. It explains the 6 places you reach out to, the 5 nonprofits you reach out to, the keywords you say. It also has the Treasury statement that says there's an additional $13 billion of rent, so you know about that before you call up. It also shows you what's a preview for fourth stimulus. That's what we do on this channel. We get big sums of money, which is a perfect segue as we go into my commentary as we have a delicious morning's broadcast today. My commentary today is I'm very, very excited that Nancy Pelosi is holding her agreement. Her agreement is that the recon will pass the House of Representatives by the end of this week. It is wonderful. And that recon pays you a lot of money. Now, when we first saw on this channel my exclusive reporting about third stimulus, and I said, hey, it looks like it's about 15,000. Then when we saw the bill was much the same as the draft, and then the law, still much the same. I said 15,000. Average view of this channel has gotten 45,000. Well, the money from that third stimulus is still paying. And what's important for you to know is you have bills. Get that big money right now. I've been doing this for a while. In fall of December 2020, we were waiting for second stimulus to become law, the HEROES Act. Remember that? It never became law, and yet you needed money. So during the holidays, I helped people get their big bills paid for with rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and they got it, like Tyrone and his family of 4 got rent paid all the way up for 8 months into the future. Get the money right now. What I teach for you on this channel is financial independence. Now, here's a couple of tough love moments. First, let's use the city of Houston just as a random city, for example. Let's say there are 2 people in the live chat from Houston. One person who wants this money for rent and utilities, and another person who's sort of lazy. If a person, let's use the person who's lazy, and the person who's lazy may post in the live chat inappropriately, there's no money in the state of Texas for rent, and I live in Houston. And then people ask the person, where did you call? I called one place, they said no, and I stopped. That's not what you do. That's not what you do. You call 6 places, and you keep on calling the 6 places. One may say no, you don't stop at 1, you call 6. Now let's look at that other person from Houston who's in the live chat. That other person from Houston heard what the first person said, and that person may be negatively hurt by the false information that the other person said. Because that other person from Houston may not pick up the phone because they saw that person saying, there's no money. Oh, maybe I won't call. Maybe I won't call. The person said there's no money. It hurts someone else when you post false information. You are instantly, deliberately hurting someone else. Because what happens? The other person may not be encouraged to pick up the phone and call. We did this last year when I was live on air in November of 2020. The set looked different, the production looked different, and I would be in the live chat, and I'd be literally reading, here's someone who got something in Michigan yesterday. Here's someone else who got something in Michigan. I go through the 3 things in Michigan. And then there would be literally someone in the live chat saying, there's no money in the state of Michigan. I just read to you 5 people who got it just yesterday. It would be that ridiculous. But what's not funny about it is that when someone says that, which is false, which is grounds for the comment to be deleted and perhaps to have the person not come back to this channel, you are hurting someone else. That someone else wants the money. The money is there. There is money for all these programs everywhere. Everywhere. If you are in a Republican state, it's there. If you are in a poor state, it's there. If you're in a small state, it's there. If you are ahead on your bills, it is there. If you don't work, it's there. If you are on disabilities, it's there. If you are single, it's there. If you don't have children, it's there. The money is there. I can't make you pick up the phone. I cannot pick up the phone for you. All I can do is share the information. And if you don't want to make the phone call, that's fine. But don't hurt someone else who wants the information to get it. When you look at Johnny, Reason I use Johnny's example, the guy who got $80,000 in 7 days, is because he made the effort. He did not call one place. He did not call 7 places to get 7 places to fund him. He had to have called at least 15 places. And he got rent funded in different locations. Mark got 50,000. You would think someone would be happy with 50,000. He keeps on going back and getting more money. He's over 100,000. We have Margaret. She gets $200 every few days. Keep on getting these sums of money. What I teach on this channel is financial independence. Financial independence starts with getting the sums of money available today. If you're in the live chat, don't post. So we're coming out of the House. Are they going to pass in the Senate on Monday and then a check is going to come in my bank account on Tuesday? Don't do that. You know that's not true. You know there's no check landing in your hand from anything from fourth stimulus this week or next week. But there is money available for third stimulus today. And there is money available for third stimulus tomorrow. Thousands and thousands of dollars. You got bills, and I can get those bills paid. That's what financial independence is about. Financial dependency is what I saw when I first launched this channel. People looking for dates and making their entire universe dependent upon a date. That's not what you do. You shouldn't be worried about rent or food or mortgage or utilities or small appliances or clothing or holiday meals, because between the nonprofits and third stimulus, they are all paid for. Those are paid for. And you need to pick up the phone and get that money. You need to make the effort. Now, let's look at Johnny and Mark and Lorraine and all the people in all those graphics. Those are people who made the calls themselves. There is no time or place for you to say, can you just have a volunteer go get the money off the tree for me and give me and put in my hand? No. You have to make the effort. You have to make the effort. I'm here to give you information for you to take that information and go. And no time to be donut-y. No time to just have people hand you wads of cash. You have to pick up the phone and call. And you can do this. Many people have done this. Countless people have done this. Millions and millions and millions of dollars have been gotten by viewers of this channel since fall of last year. Under second stimulus, then third stimulus. And the great news is that all this money is here. Dedicate your week and split your hours of the week. Call the 2 C's, Casey Coons, Warren Wyden, Sanders and Schumer's, over 3 days to advocate for items to be added into fourth stimulus. But also give yourself time to get money under third stimulus. Even if you got the money, get an additional round as well. And coming up next is Morning's Crypto. We got a big show. I'm excited for you. Are you going to join me? It's coming up in just a few minutes from now. And then we go into noontime at 11 a.m. And with that, at 11 a.m., totally brand new, so don't miss that show. And with that, subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Pal, Calcino VIP. Stay informed, stay focused, have a beautiful day, and stay with LA for more.